Hi, Tom Altier here with Functional Medicine of Idaho. And many of the people who are coming into our clinics these days are quite fearful. They're worried. They're seeing that there's a drastic rise in testing and a drastic rise in now positive cases. And so we're worried that we're going to have adverse outcomes. We're worried that we're going to have more people dying, more people sick, more people with health problems post-COVID-19. And so many of us are feeling powerless. We're like, gosh, I don't know what's going to go on with the economy. I don't know if we're going to open up the schools. What can we do? And the neat thing is the literature is extremely clear about one thing. There appears to be a seasonality with COVID-19, much like many other viruses. And we may be associating that now with sun exposure and an elevation of vitamin D. So if you look closely at the vitamin D studies, you're going to see that death rates go down, adverse events go down as vitamin D levels go up to a certain point. So one Indonesian trial shocked everybody, right? It showed that people who had insufficient vitamin D, which was a 21 to 29 nanogram per ml level, which is pretty low, those people were 12.55 times more likely to die from COVID-19 when they did not stratify for age, sex, and comorbidities. So that's huge, 12.55 times, but it gets even bigger. Look at this. When people were deficient, meaning they had a really low level of equal to or less than 20 nanograms per ml, those people actually were 19.12 times more likely to die. So that's huge. What you can do right now is you could check your D level. You could go into your doctor's office, you can order a test online from grassrootshealth.org. You can see where your level's at. And if you're at that 20 level, or if you're at a 21 to 29 level, you might be increasing your chances for adverse outcomes or even death from COVID-19. So, wow, it's summertime, it's July. Now's the perfect time. We have the strength in the sun to come down, strike our skin, and convert a 9-10 bond in our skin, pop it open, and convert this cholesterol substance into vitamin D. You can check to see if that's happening. You can look at your serum values. That's fantastic. Because it turns out that, gosh, if you look at the literature, I mean, we've seen TB, right? Did you know back in the turn of the century, people would go out in these solariums to prevent TB, right? You see even influenza. People who were taking 2,000, 4,000 IUs of vitamin D had far less cases of influenza. You see people who are on, respiratory support in emergency rooms get high dose vitamin D and it improves their outcomes. So this is something you can do right now. You can go outside. Maybe look at the D-Minder app to make sure you're getting an adequate amount of sun exposure without burning your skin. D-Minder, it's a free app online. It'll help you calculate how long to stay outside to get a decent dose of D without burning yourself. That's very helpful. Or you can take some supplementation, right? We find that about, according to clinics in Seattle, 5,000 IUs per day increases the level of about 2 nanogram per week. So if you're at a 20 and you want to get to a 40, because it looks like the protective range is 40 to 60 nanograms per ml, then it's going to take you about 10 weeks, right? Or maybe for a short period of time, you can take 10,000 IUs and get your levels up a lot quicker. But right now it's summer, right? We're at the perfect time. I mean, if you want to look at one positive thing, it's like if you're going to have a spike, why not have it now when we can actually go outside and increase our protection from adverse events from COVID-19. So in this time of despair, when everybody's worried, rightfully so, right, we can actually have this little teeny spark of hope, and it's coming from the sun. So go out, my friends, have fun, and increase your D.